All right, guys, welcome to this page of the notes. And what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and take a look at solving a system of equations. But in order to get the system of equations, you need to be able to figure out a word problem. So what I've done is I've given you a word problem, and you need to be able to pull information out of the word problem to first write your own equations and then solve that system of equations. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. What I've given you in this particular example problem is it is an amphitheater. And the amphitheater has seats right next to the stage that cost $30. The seats in the next section back cost $25. And then there are lawn seats, or the nosebleed section, $20. $20 for a seat out there on the lawn. Okay. There are twice as many seats in Section B as in Section A. When the stadium or the amphitheater sells all 19,200 seats, when all 19,200 seats are sold, the amphitheater makes $456,000. Again, write a system of equations and determine how many seats are in each section of the amphitheater. All right, here we go. Just like we did when solving systems of two equations, when you're given a word problem, you need to find the numbers in the word problem that represent a total amount. Once you've found the totals, it should then be a little easier to write an equation that represents those totals. Well, they're not that hard. They should jump out at you. There are a total of 19,200 seats in the amphitheater. And when all the seats are sold, the amphitheater makes a total of $456,000. Well, there's my two totals. So here we go. 19,200 seats. Well, where do all of those seats come from? Well, I have the seats right next to the stage. I have the seats in the section right behind that. And then I have the seats out on the lawn. Sections A, B, and C. If you add together all of the seats in each of those sections, you would get the total number of seats. So, 19,200, that's section A, plus section B, plus section C. That's how I get all those seats. Now, my next total is $456,000. $456,000. Well, where does all that money come from? Well, it comes from selling seats. So how much do they sell their seats for? Well, the A seats, the seats in Section A sell for $30. The seats in Section B, those sell for $25. And the seats in Section C, those guys all sell for $20. By adding up the amount of money they make per seat for every seat they sell, tells you how much money they will make for that particular event, right? This is what they get if they sell all of their seats. But I got a problem. When I read my word problem, I only have two numbers that represent totals. And I've written the equations that go with those numbers. But here's my problem. I have three unknowns, A, B, and C. That's three unknowns, and right now, I only have two equations, which is no bueno. Remember, in order to solve a system of equations, you must have the same number of equations, 3, as I have variables, which is 3, right? So they got to be the same. I'm missing an equation, which means I must have missed a piece of information somewhere. And we did. If you look back at the problem, here's what I missed. There are twice as many seats in Section B as there are in Section A. That's my third equation. Let's think about this for a second. If there are twice as many seats in Section B as there are in Section A, okay? Well, if there are 2,000 seats in Section A, how many seats are in Section B? I agree. 4,000. How did you do that? You multiplied the seats in Section A by 2, because B is twice as big as A. So if A is 2,000, you multiply by 2 and you get 4. Let's try another one. If there are 6,000 seats in section A, how many seats are in section B? I agree, 12. How did you get that? You multiply the seats in section A by 2. So when I ask you to write this equation, there are twice as many seats in section B as in section A. What is the equation? Well, the seats in section B are equal to 2 times the seats in section A. Fantastic. Now we got ourselves 3 equations. 1, 2, and 3. All right, what are we going to go ahead and do? Well, here's what we're probably going to do. Let's see, since this is an equation with A and B in it, let's see if we can go ahead and add together these 2 equations, 1 and 2, eliminate the C. If I can eliminate C, then I'll have an equation with A and B in it, another equation with A and B in it, and we are off and running. So we're going to add 1 and 2, eliminate C. All right, no problem. How do I get rid of the C? Well, this is a positive 20, so I'm going to go ahead and multiply this guy by a negative 20. So that gives me 456,000 is equal to 30A plus 25B plus 20C. But I'm going to add to that this equation, but I'm going to multiply it by a negative 20. When you multiply 19,200 by a negative 20, I get negative 384,000. Make sure you get what I get. Negative 384,000. The rest of it's pretty easy. Minus 20A minus 20B minus 20C. Add them up. C's drop out. The A's and the B's are easy. That's going to leave me with 10A plus 5B. And then a quick calculator. Punch it out on your calculator. Plug and chug. Don't fat finger something. 456,000 minus 384,000. I get 72, right? Yeah, 72,000. That's what I get. Make sure you get what I get. If you get something different, let me know. Oh, well, here we go. I now have myself a new equation. This is going to be equation number 4. And beautiful. We're doing great here. I have this equation, which has just an A and a B in it. And I have this equation, which has just an A and a B in it. So now we have 2 equations, 2 unknowns, eliminate A or B, and you guys are essentially home free. So here we go. Let's add. We're going to add equation number 4 and equation number 3. And what's going to be the easiest to get rid of here? Let me do this. Let me rewrite this equation so that it is 0 is equal to 2A minus B. Well, that is very helpful because now the B's are opposite in sign. That is definitely the one I'm going to want to get rid of. So I will have eliminate B. We'll have 72,000 is equal to 10A plus 5B. We'll multiply this guy by 5, which means 0 is equal to 10A minus 5B. Add them up. We get 72,000 is equal to 20A. All right, divide 72,000 by 20, and I get 3,600 seats. Again, remember that number represents how many seats are in Section A. 3,600 seats in Section A. Well, how do you figure out then how many seats are in section B? Easy peasy, plug it in. Let me find a spot over here for a little side work. B is equal to 2 times A, which means B is equal to 2 times 3,600, which means that B is equal to 7,200 seats. Sorry, my 7 got a little weird. There we go. That is seats. And then finally, how do you find the number of seats in the lawn? Well, we know that there were 19,200 seats, and that was equal to A plus B plus C. So in order to find C, I will have 19,200 minus 3,600 minus 7,200. I apologize, I'm squeezing in over there. I just kind of ran out of space. I'm so sorry about that. I know it doesn't look pretty. It's driving me crazy as well. But when you go ahead and do that math, throw it into your calculator, you wind up with 8,400 seats. And there's my answers. There is A, B, and C. And you just figured out how many seats there are in each section of this particular amphitheater. I have another word problem on the next page of the notes, so head on over and I'll meet you there.